on the way to see the boy.
All right, thank you,
Oswald,
Bob.
of course, is in his jail cell, just one floor above.
One floor above this third floor.
A few minutes ago. These objects, some of them famous objects, they've been seen in press photographs for the past 3 years, are now being moved out of the White House and across the street into a storage basement in the executive office buildings. These are two tables, and between them what look like the tops of lecterns where briefings could be given. A sense of the flighting nature of fame and indeed of life. Here the press meet leaders. It's just across the hall from the president's own office. A model of a ship. The late president was very fond of ship models, and a model of the space capsule. He was the first president to go all out for a space program. And next is a model of the Joseph Kennedy, the destroyer Joseph Kennedy, which I think was christened by one of the Kennedy sisters. It is named after John Fitzgerald Kennedy's elder brother, who was killed in World War II. That model was on the mantelpiece of the room, and you can see a Chinese bowl in the other end of that tray in which these objects are being carried. Some of these gifts were presented to the president by heads of state. No time can be lost, and no time is being lost, to move out the possessions of President John Kennedy in order to move in as quickly as possible those of President Lyndon B. Johnson. This is a swivel chair. This is a famous chair. This is the president's swivel chair, which he takes along with him wherever he goes. If he goes to dinners or goes to make speeches, this chair is carried along, and you can see the button he presses to make it incline. And it was especially designed for him, and it is taken wherever he travels because of the difficulties with his back. And out it goes to and down the long lane to the basement. Those were the objects. He walked out of the White House, and he goes down to the street, crosses the street, and is going into the White House, the neighboring building, the executive office building, where he has had offices for a long time, which is now his White House, and there the first person he meets is Secretary of State Rusk in Johnson's office. Shortly after that meeting, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson left and went across the square just in front of the White House to St. John's Episcopal Church across the square, which has been called the Church of Presidents. It's across Lafayette Park from the White House. There is Reverend John C. Harper, the rector. The new president went to the church to pray, and the rector prayed for the slain president and for the new one. The rector said that President Johnson had requested this special service. And so we have a picture of fleeting fame. President John Kennedy's possessions have moved out of the White House. Lyndon Johnson, who was only slightly attended a short while ago, is now the center of all attention.
The body will lie in the great rotunda of the Capitol, and certainly there will be thousands of people standing in line for hours. This is a group. These are the White House staff. Members of the White House staff passing by. Of course, the White House staff consists of a great many people. We do not know the exact number, but in the domestic staff, there would be a great number of people, and also, of course, for the various presidential aides in the President's office, which is an annex, actually an annex to the
Bureau, been taken on.
General Eisenhower coming back to the White House, which he occupied for 8 years, and with him is the Senate Minority Leader Everett Dirksen from Illinois, being greeted by Drexel Biddle Duke, the ambassador and the chief of protocol of the State Department, one of the personal friends of President Kennedy. We are seeing here with ABC cameras the arrival of the dignitaries at
Dallas.